My story, from playful days to a second chance at life. I still find myself looking back on those early years and wondering how time slipped by so fast. Back then, I knew nothing of the world beyond play. It was the whole point of life to me. Some days I'd be bursting with joy. Others weighed down by sadness I couldn't put words to. And sometimes I'd drift through the hours feeling empty inside. But no matter what, the happy moments always stood out brightest in my mind. And then there was that day I'll never forget. The day I almost didn't make it past childhood. Thank God above for pulling me through. I was messing around with a monoblock chair, those light plastic ones made all in one piece, pretending it was my car. My passengers? A bunch of tiny fluffy puppies I'd rounded up, making them sit nice and still on the seat. I drove along until I hit a narrow dirt path that wound through our neighborhood. I kept going until I reached a spot where a big rock sat by the side, with a steel bar sticking out of the ground near it. Farmers used it for their work, I later found out. I was busy cooing at one of the puppies when my foot slipped. Next thing I knew, I'd tumbled about 2 feet down onto that rock, and the sharp end of the steel bar went right through my neck and jaw. Everything went black for a bit. When I came to, I could feel the bar stuck in me, and I somehow managed to pull it out. That's when the blood really started pouring. I got to my feet and stumbled home, maybe 19 meters or so, all while warm red liquid ran down my chest and onto the ground. My sister was the first to see me. She screamed for help, and even as I felt myself fading fast, I could hear more voices, my sister June, my brother's son, Uncle Ben-Hur, all of them racing toward me. Jun pulled me into a tight hug and pressed a clean cloth against my neck, trying to stop the bleeding. Then everything went dark again. Later, Jun told me what happened next. They were rushing me to the hospital in a car when we hit kilometer 3, and a police officer flagged us down. He thought the driver was drunk from how fast we were going. But when he saw me in June's arms, covered in blood, his face went serious and he waved us on, shouting for the driver to hurry to Pines Hospital. The next thing I knew, I was lying in my own bed at home. For a second, I thought the whole thing was just some crazy dream, until I felt the stiff bandage wrapped around my neck, crusted with dried blood. That's when it all came flooding back, and I realized it was real. I learned something big that day. The Lord didn't let me go because there's still something I'm meant to do here. Every time I take a breath now, I remind myself how good it is to be alive, how life gives us chances to make something of ourselves. We've got to take action and do the work, but it's God who guides us toward what matters most. True story by Jo Wenkenrin an Volger.